Today is July 25th, 2016, and yeah, we are definitely approaching on 2017, over halfway through 2016, and this video is about just some of the emotional behavior. Oh, lordy. Years of this constructed black male being raised by black women has brought us this.
That crazy bitch over there, y'all. That's a crazy white bitch, y'all. She don't like me because I said right here, she sound blocking her view. Fuck that bitch. Fuck you, hoe. I ain't starting nothing with you, bitch. I just sat here. I sat here to come eat. Man, look, I came here to sit here to eat, y'all. This bitch started going crazy on me. Like I give a fuck. Hey, bitch, I'm from Texas, hoe. That's where I'm from. Bitch, I'm from Texas, bitch. Yo, bitch, fuck you. Suck my dick. How about that? Yo, hoe. Fuck you, bitch. Yo. Give a fuck where you from.
Yeah, you don't. Black Lives Matter. You can't say any other lives matter because that's some kind of affront to these people. But look at the behavior and tell me, is anybody above reproach?
I ain't better watch a motherfucking thing. You ain't gonna do shit. I don't give a fuck about no hell lane. You think I give a fuck about some hell lane? The fuck? The hell lane. You hear this shit? Trying to get your attention. Bitch, your motherfucking eyebrows drawing on. Y'all know? It's all natural though, bitch. How about that? You see this shit? Y'all see this shit? Shut the fuck up, ho. Okay, ho. You's a stupid white bitch.
Now, if he got his ass kicked, no, he has freedom of speech, but only black people have it, not anybody else. I'm going somewhere with this.
So this does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. How do I order a 20-piece chicken nugget? I order a 20-piece chicken nugget. I order a 20-piece chicken nugget. 20-piece chicken nugget. Not a 5-piece chicken nugget. Not a 2-piece chicken nugget. Not a 1, not a 10. A 20-piece chicken nugget. And I get one sauce. What am I going to do with one sauce? Baby! What am I going to do with one sauce? That's like going to freaking Red Lobster and saying I want crab, and they give you one crab. I'm not paying $4,000 to $6,000 for one crab. No, and then you expect me to pay all this money for just no, unacceptable, unacceptable. I do not play. I order 20-piece, so I should get a 20-piece sauce. Thank you.
This one is a little bit more insidious. Just look the word up. Insidious, proceeding in a gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects. Treacherous, crafty. Yes, definitely more insidious. Not as loud, but still, look at this mug, man. Why would you do this to a dog? Helpless, defenseless, doing his job. He sprays the motherfucking dog. Black man. No emotion. Inflict pain. Walk the fuck off. This is the coup de grace right here. This guy starts off intelligent, but then he devolves into the emotional example of what you have come to expect when you deal with a black man. They go from 0 to 60 in emotions based upon you can't tell me. I can tell you what to say. I can tell you. You can show, and that's what we were talking about: cognitive reasoning, intellectual ability to deal with academics. Once again, I showed this to my niece, who continues to assert that the police are what's the danger in the so-called black community. Look at this graph: 15.5 million abortions. All right, helpless, innocents, innocent children by their mothers. 15.5 million, over 15.5 million. Some people say somewhere around 20 million babies have been aborted in the black community. The black queen, the black hero, the black mother. Don't pay any attention to these numbers. If you're a low intellect, low information person. Okay, I guess we got to run this thing because you got to see him.
Disciplines themselves. Now, these issues that the chief points out, put some meat on the bones of that for us, Mark. Like, what do you think these issues are that need to be addressed?
Well, one, I think, again, is a culture of silence, and what we call the blue wall of silence. There has to be a space where officers can come out and speak. But I think, first, let's take a quick step back and say, I think we have to reject the 99% of cops are good argument. Not because they're bad, not because it's not true, but because it ignores the fact that there's a systemic problem. It's just like we don't have a problem saying the school system is broken. We don't have to defend it quickly and say, hey, but all the teachers are good.
But teachers don't get attacked and killed in response to what seems as a systemic problem. That's why you err on the side of saying, let's not forget this is a good thing we're doing, not a bad thing.
I understand it's a rhetorical move, but I'm saying intellectually we also have to never lose sight of the fact that we're not blaming individual officers. We're talking about a system that's dysfunctional. So how do we switch the system? Part of that is changing the laws. Part of that is creating a mechanism of oversight so that, for example, when a police officer does do something bad, we have a space to not have other police investigate them, but instead we have civilian review boards. We have citizen review boards. These types of things actually give us the kind of transparency that we need.
How real is it that if you were on the job and you knew a guy was dirty, you would be worried about coming forward because what if it's not, a clean situation? What if
I were a police officer, I wouldn't even deal with black people, period. I'd come and get the bodies because they know more about everything. They know that he's not a police officer, but he knows everything. It doesn't even make sense. Well, 99% of the police officers are bad. That still shows that the systemic and. But watch him just go act like a female.
Back on you,
you
need your brothers and sisters within the force to support yourselves.
Well, it's an issue, but when I was in internal affairs, we had this thing that was called the action desk. All right. Believe it or not, I think about over half the calls we got were from other police officers making allegations on police officers doing bad things on the street. But let's say, listen, Chris, this isn't a one-sided argument here. Okay, we're talking about three different things here, all about the police department, but facts have got to matter. If we want to make some changes here on what's going on, the police have already recognized the fact that we have some issues that we've got to deal with. All right. Now the black community has got to also understand that they have issues that they have to deal with. All right. This is not a one-way street here. And now you got police officers, you got the Ferguson effect that we're dealing with today. It's because police officers are second guessed right away. We had the incident in Louisiana and in Minneapolis. Okay. We don't know what happened there, okay, especially what happened in Minneapolis. All right, the investigation is still going on, but to come out with the rhetoric that the police officers were racist when there's no evidence to indicate that racism was involved has got to stop. All right, if that doesn't stop, and this thing about the disparity of blacks and whites in jails, that's got to stop, because I got statistics right here which will prove me right. In New York City alone, okay, blacks are 23%. They make up
of the population.
Right, of the population. 75% of all shootings, 70% of all robberies, and 60% of all violent crimes. All right? The whites, only 3%. Now, that is why there were more blacks in jail than there are whites.
But that's
okay. And now let me just finish here, and then you can go. All right. So we look at that statistic. All right. They turn it around. You know, the racial demagogues out there turn it around that the blacks are being picked on. It's not. So the facts in these statistics, all right, have to be addressed, and you've got to understand them.
But both can be true, right? Both can be true. You wind up dealing with a community more because of socioeconomics and criminality, but the question still remains, Mark, of how you deal with that community.
Right. Can I respond to Harry?
Please.
Okay. So
please, and I'm coming to you.
There's a couple things there. First, Harry talked about the idea of people immediately second guessing the police. The police should be second guessed. They're public servants, and we're the public. We should be second guessing them, just like we should second guess our politicians.
He's saying don't automatically infer an assumption of racism. That's what he's saying.
Well, that's not racism.
But not this. Not this. No, don't second guess this. This is all right. This is okay. This is how shit gets started. Like this.
That crazy bitch over there, y'all. That's a crazy white bitch, y'all. She don't like me because I said right here, she said I'm blocking her view.
Now I guarantee you, if this guy was around and somebody was talking to his mother like that, his sister, then he would be justified to go in there and exact some type of retribution. But we are, and by we I mean these mugs, can say whatever they want to say, but no one else can say what they feel, what they want. You mugs are stupid, man. You constructed ass black mugs. Look at this dude. Then we're gonna go back to the
bitch. Fuck you, hoe. I ain't starting nothing with you, bitch. I just sat here. I sat here to come eat. Man, look, I came here to sit here to eat, y'all. This bitch started going crazy on me. Like I give a fuck. Hey, bitch, I'm from Texas, hoe. That's where I'm from. Bitch, I'm from Texas, bitch. Yo, bitch, fuck you. Suck my dick. How about that? Yo, hoe. Fuck you, bitch. Yo. Give a fuck where you from. I ain't better watch your motherfucking thing. You ain't gonna do shit. I don't give a fuck about no hell lane. You think I give a fuck about some hell lane? The fuck? The hell lane. You hear this shit? Trying to get your attention. Bitch, your motherfucking eyebrows drawing on. Y'all know? It's all natural though, bitch. How about that? You see this shit? Y'all see this shit? Shut the fuck up, ho. Okay, ho.
You will find nothing wrong with that behavior.
And we have to make that distinction, right? We have to make the distinction.
Right.
Should be subject to scrutiny, but so long as police have not been, and because police have not been, sometimes at this point, police are frustrated when you don't take their word as gospel right away. And with camera phone technology, increased witness technology, we see that they're not always telling the truth. Now, to Terry's second point, which is that in Ferguson, we immediately jumped up and said this is racism without any evidence of racism. We did an investigation of the Ferguson Police Department. I talk about this in my new book, and there is considerable evidence of racism in Ferguson. So it isn't true that there was no evidence of racism. There were racist emails, racist phone calls, racist practices.
He's saying in this specific incident.
No,
come on.
Let me finish.
There were 3 emails, I believe, that were racist, correct?
But Harry, there's only
3 emails.
Harry, there's only like 100.
It doesn't matter.
But Harry, hold on.
That means it's systemic.
Guys.
Harry's still on national TV and just said that black people are prone to criminality. I wouldn't be able to respond to that. Okay.
Well, they are.
But you think black people are prone to criminality?
The statistics here show.
You don't mean to say that. I'm gonna give you a chance to.
Look at him putting his hands on the guy. Look at him constricting free speech. These bugs really believe their own shit, man.
You don't mean that black people are prone to criminality.
Yes,
what does this say?
I don't know what that says, but I know
the chief can back me up because he's coming.
He's not going to stay on national TV and say black people are prone to criminality.
I am telling you, 75% of all shootings are blacks.
I'm hoping you just don't know.
75% of shootings. Well, you're interpreting something else. I'm saying,
Harry,
your narrative.
They can't decipher facts. They will not acknowledge data. They will not acknowledge cognitive reasoning that, black people start shit. The so-called black person, I've already tried to explain that race is a myth. But behavior and culture, ethnicity, there you go. Overly excited, overly emotional, telling somebody else what they can say.
What you do.
I'm just trying to talk.
Mark, hold on one second.
I think you just don't know prone.
Points I'd like to make. First of all, I'm not going to say prone to blacks, prone to crime because I don't believe it, and it's not true. That's the first.
It's not true. It's racist.
The second thing, I have a slight difference.
It is not racist.
To say that black people are prone to criminality.
That's not what I said. I said 75% of the shootings that occur in New York City are done by blacks. All right? And you keep on talking about this disproportionate amount of whites and blacks in jail. And this is why. No, it's not. It is, by the definition.
How about we don't yell?
That's exactly what I'm going to say.
All right, okay.
This is a conversation that is not always easy to have. You're going to have clashes of perspective. But we all know this, all right? If you do not have this conversation the right way, you do not move forward. You can discuss the difference between entire race is prone to criminality, which I know is not what you mean, and that's what I was trying to correct. Statistically, I know,
but that's not what I meant.
But the way,
and that's why I said I don't think you meant that,
right,
Mark, because that's racist.
I know, but Mark, you got to. We need to give people some space right now and need to think about how we're treating.
Yes, but Chris, we're also on national television, and we can't say things like that.
I know, but the way we do it is different.
Look at the numbers.
You can't say things like that.
Can we address those
pay
numbers?
attention to those numbers?
We know
we have to address those numbers.
We know the numbers are a function of a disproportionate level of criminality within the population that's represented.
Numbers are also dishonest because there are other
They're
dimensions.
not
Absolutely,
they're true.
They're not true.
Let's take one step at a time.
It's your interpretation, which is what
No, first of all, my interpretation, Harry, you Googling some numbers is different than talking to me.
No.
First of all,
I don't Google numbers. This came from the NYPD. These are NYPD numbers.
Oh, well, then they must be true.
Yeah,
yes, they are. Well, then they must be true.
Because I was in robbery for 4 years.
But how you discuss it matters also. Let me get to the chief.
Okay.
We're going to have lots of conversations on this. It's just the first step.
Just a point of reference that I'd just like to point out to Harry. One, when you point to these racial demagogues, quote-unquote racial demagogues, one thing that you should take into consideration, a lot of times the media is flocking to a couple of individuals that may or may not be speaking for the African-American community. The second thing is that if you look at that incident that took place in Baltimore, it took a year before that video was released. And you had 11...
Black people are prone to that shit. I got lots of evidence about it. And there's no one more prone to violence than the black woman and her overly emotional men. These boys that they raise, they think that they can tell people what to say, what to do, while they can do anything that they want.
Plenty of officers who did not fire their weapons but filed reports stating something other than the facts. That's what people are talking about. They're not talking about any specific instances. What they're saying is that government and law enforcement had the opportunity to clean up the injustices that has been taking place in the criminal justice system, the biases and the racism for decades and decades. It has not happened. And those need to be addressed. It does not mean that there are not a lot of good cops. It doesn't mean that law enforcement does not serve all communities well. It means that changes have to be made, talks have to be stopped, and action needs to be taken place. End bottom story. And I think that's the issue that we need to address.
Do you think that police departments are systematically racist?
I think that there's a lot of systemic. Well, I'll give you one example.
Systemic. And the true definition of systemic.
I'll answer that question.
It means everybody is.
We know what it means.
I don't know.
That's not what it means. It doesn't mean that
it does.
No, it does not. Harry, you can't just make up words and define it. Systemic does not mean that.
Can I answer?
No, I don't.
You have to be able to talk to each other.
Taking place. End bottom story. And I think that's the issue that we need.
Do you think that police departments are systematically racist?
I think that there's a lot of systemic. Well, I'll give you one example.
Systemic. And the true definition of systemic.
I'll answer that question.
It means everybody is.
We know what it means.
I don't know.
That's not what it means. It doesn't mean
it does.
No, it does not. Harry, you can't just make up words and define them. Systemic does not mean that.
Can I answer?
No, I don't.
Hold on, guys.
Systemic.
You have to be able to talk
All
to
throughout
each other.
I would like
Okay.
to.
Yes,
Let the chief finish, and then we're going to continue this conversation another time. Go ahead, chief.
I think the intent of the racism that takes place in law enforcement is grossly overstated, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And one point exact conversation, we can make a change for the better for all.
And look, we know each other very well, Chief. You and I are getting to know each other better now. You're going to be part of our conversation. We've got to take a breath. Even when something that's said is completely wrong, we got to deal with each other the right way. I'm not in the business of lecturing you guys. I have you here because I need you here. This is the first step of the conversation we got to keep having. Thank you for starting it today. All right. I know there's a lot more that needs to be said. I do. I've lived this for a long time as well. But let's just take one step at a time. All right. Mark's good.
I don't know why do you put this mug on TV? Yeah, well, because they like the paradox. Don't believe me. Make your own videos. Do your own research. Stay away from these Black Lives Matter people. They don't understand facts. Don't believe me. Make your own videos. Good night.